So when we're talking about the Android platform, unlike, let's say, the iOS platform, where you have a single manufacturer and who is creating both the hardware and the software, the Android platform is completely different. You have different manufacturers creating hardware, you have different manufacturers creating software. So there are certainly some pros and cons when it comes to taking that into consideration when you're building a system around people who are going to use this, help manage a disability or help increase skill. So on the pro side, it's open source. That generally means that you have open standards of data exchange, whether that's media or text or whatever. It's not proprietary. It also means that a lot of people can be involved in the development, which yields to rapid growth and very, very rapid and very innovative technology that can be adopted fairly quickly. What you also have is a lot of different hardware choices. Particularly when it comes to hardware, this can be a great benefit in terms of selecting the right hardware for your user. Every user, whether they're typical or not typical, has usability desires and usability issues that you have to take into account. And so having multiple hardware options can be a huge advantage in really customizing the experience for the user, for this particular user. Now, on the con side of this is that rapid growth often means rapid change. I'll give you an example. Android is in version 4.0. 4.0 was launched less than a year ago, and now they're already on 4.3. Even before the manufacturers have had time to process the new version and get it onto their hardware that they've manufactured, there's a new version on top. This, again, can be a very big positive because new features come out very rapidly, but it can also mean that you have to keep on top of that. Now, the other flip side of this is because there are a lot of manufacturers of hardware, and those manufacturers, so software gets released, so the new version comes out, then the hardware manufacturer has to pick up that piece of software, understand and customize that piece of software for their particular hardware, the CPUs that are using it, the media cards, all the other systems, the subsystems that make up that tablet, and have to customize it for that particular device. Now, here's the scenario that often happens. You buy a piece of hardware, and 2 years later, the manufacturer has moved on to another generation of hardware, and they're not updating the previous generation of hardware. Now, this happens much less with major manufacturers like Samsung or Asus, manufacturers like that. However, when you have off-brands, particularly cheaper off-brands, once they've released the hardware and software, they release it once, and they don't release updates to that hardware, generally speaking. So when you're selecting your devices, take that into account. If you're not very technical, a major manufacturer is probably a lot better for you than a minor manufacturer, only because if you're a minor manufacturer, then you may have to be doing the updates yourself.